Okay there, so I'm going to start our Pong game. Number one, always give it a name. So here's Mr. Luke underscore Pong. That's the first step. Next step, we need to delete the scratch cat. You go to backdrops, and I'm going to create my backdrop. Super simple. Change the fill. I'm going to make it into completely black. Paint bucket. Now it won't work, so change to bitmap, and it changes. I don't know why that works, but that's how it works. Easy. I'm going to call the backdrop Pong Game. Could be level 1, could be level 2, many different names. Now, create my first sprite. No, you're not going to choose a sprite, you're going to draw a sprite. And here we go. Really super simple. You can make it look pixelated with a square. I'm just going to choose a circle today. And I'm going to change the color to a light color so it contrasts. Here is my color. I'm choosing white. I'm going to delete the border. I don't want to have an outline on this. And if you look, is that the right size? It looks about right. I might make it a little bit bigger. And there we go. Now you see I'm centering that. I'm making sure it's perfectly in the middle at 0, 0. Okay, change the name to Pong Ball. And we're ready to go. Change the name of the sprite as well. Do we need to name both? No, but it just works. Okay, let's jump on code. First step, when flag clicked, we want the ball to go to the center of the screen. Now we know the center of the screen is X0 and Y0, so go to 0, 0. And what we want it to do is move. So for ever loop, and we're going to go to motion and move 10 steps. Now, if we just have that when we click start, it's not going to do much. It's going to move off the screen. We don't want that to happen. So let's go down in our motion and choose if on edge bounce. Now that's working, but it's a little bit boring. So let's go back to point in direction. Okay, so at the start of the game, we're going to go to the center, point in direction, and you can choose the direction. So if we made it to 45, it's going to choose that 45-degree angle. But the thing which makes games good play is the randomness. Okay, so we want it to have a random start point. So let's go random around a circle or around a point. There are 360 degrees. So that is the start there. Now you see I'm testing it. It is a random start point every time. Fantastic. Okay, next sprite is going to be the paddle. So I'm going to call it paddle, or player 1 as I'm calling it here. For that is what it is. Zoom in close. You can make this as intricate as you want. I like to keep this simple because it is authentic with the original Pong game, but also the less fanciness, the easier it is to maneuver up and down and not get caught and cause glitches. So there's the coordinates at x minus 224. So I'm going to do x minus 224. I might change it to x minus 225. I'm going to bring 2 down here and I'll show you why. At the start, we want it to go to the start point. And I'll make that as 0. So you know it goes center. Then I'm going to choose my forever loop. Bring it in down the bottom there. Now I'm going to go to the same x coordinate, but I'm going to use my mouse. So the y will be tracking based on the mouse y. And there it is going up and down based on that. If you're playing the game up to down rather than left to right, you could go x mouse. So here we are here. And I'm going to add some code to the Pong ball. If it is touching, now this is why I've named things so I can find things easier. If it's touching player 1, I want it to not point in direction, but turn. Okay, I'm going to make it turn by, if you make it go directly the opposite direction, that's 180 degrees. You see there, it went back in the way it came. We want to add some variety to that, so we are going to go into operations, and then we will select 20 plus or minus from that 180 degrees. So there's a bit of variety, but it still goes away from the paddle. So let's make it from 160 to 200. And that gives it a 40-degree variety of which way it's going to turn. Now, the next sprite is super easy. We're going to do another large sprite, same color. In the end, I'll take it, make it the same color as the background. I center it. And I'm going to make sure that it goes from the top to the bottom of the screen. Now this sprite is going to be the game over. If you touch this sprite, the game finishes. Okay, so it's like the wall. So we make it nice and large. You can see that it covers the whole height of the screen. I center it, and now on the game screen I'm going to move it across so it's almost off the screen. Went too far. Bring it back. It's sitting there, and I can just make it a bit thinner there. So now there's a gap between the player and that sprite, and that sprite's game over. So in the code, it's going to go to this point. When flag is clicked, go to -236, and you can make that 0 if you want to. That white border is not so important. You can just see it there off the screen. So if I go back to the Pong ball, I just do an if-then statement. If touching, game over. So I haven't named it here, so I'm going to quickly run in and name that sprite. If touching, game over, then end all. Now that means that I've got the start of the game, my player controlled sprite's working, my ball is moving around the screen, I've got a way to deflect it, and I've got a way to finish the game. The next step is I need to have lives, I need to have scores, I need to create a computer generated character. That character which, if it hits it, will knock it back, but if it misses it, it's going to get me a point. And that's where we're going now. Okay, good luck.